It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger handles the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run game. Bellinger twisting around, still going. He's at the wall. He leaps, and he made the catch. Cody Bellinger.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. A wild finish there. And yes, we're going to have plenty of time to discuss and break down the Dodgers. The Dodgers now hitting 205 in this series. 14 hits for the Dodgers in this series. They storm back there, right there in the bottom of the ninth. It looked like they had an opportunity. And A.J. Pollock, he grounds out to the end of the game. Cody Bellinger comes through with a triple there to bring the Dodgers within one game. But the Dodgers fall in game 2, and they now, to me, tomorrow is a must-win game. I got the Dodgers needing a must-win tomorrow with Julio Urias on the mound for your boys in blue. Adversity causes some men to break. It causes others to break records, and the Dodgers now have to make history, essentially. Only of the 31 league championship series, when the team has gone up 2-0, they've won that series 28 of 31 times. But I'm going to tell you why this is not your normal 7-game NLCS. But, hey, we've got tons to get into here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show, but you know how we get down. Let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from tonight. They found something there late in that game. Now, we can talk about how the offense was colder than a polar bear's ice hole, or we can talk about how the pitching did not come through with the bullpen with Tony Gonsolin there. We have a lot to talk about in this game, but they found something late there with Corey Seager hitting that home run there, that 3-run shot, and then he comes through. Mookie Betts gets his first hit of the series there in that ninth inning. But, hey, you've got a lot to say here, and I'm going to jump right into these takes. Give me all your fire takes. Let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from today. If you're watching on Twitter, be sure to retweet the show, mash that like button. I'm telling you, this series is not over. The Dodgers will be making a comeback in this series. I'm very confident with this offense right now. Coming back in that ninth inning, I think they found something. But hey, the Dodgers, they're gonna have to find a way to put it together, and we're gonna get into this whole thing. But no moral victories from Doug Crosby. Let's go Dodgers from John Aguilar, Jonathan Moore. God damn, that was exciting. It was. Let's go Dodgers from Kim over on Facebook. Pollock's AB was horrible. David Miller, I did not like. You could tell. It was like A.J. Pollock was like, I hope I get a strike here because I'm hacking on the first pitch. I would have liked to see him work the count there a little more, but unfortunately he doesn't come through. He did have one of the Dodgers' 10 hits tonight. He goes 1 for 5, and it just wasn't the guy I wanted to see up there in that spot. Unfortunately, that was how it was. And look, Max Muncy hit that 2-run shot. The Dodgers have the offense. If this offense wakes up, this offense that led Major League Baseball in runs scored, this Dodgers offense this year, they were potent all season long, and they need to get it together. 349 runs on the season, 5.8 runs per game. Now they put up some runs, 6 runs in that one. They got 1 run averaging in the first game, so 3.5 runs per game. That's not going to get it done against his Braves team. But here we go. It's all over. L.A. lost again from Sam, Michael, Train. What I tell you, Doug, I told you, you jinxed it. Hey, I didn't jinx anything, man. I still feel like if there's a team that can come back down 2-0, this is not your typical 7-game series here in the NLCS. This is a neutral site game. Only difference is one team gets to bat last, and that ultimately helped the Dodgers tonight. But I think this Dodger team, look, Clayton Kershaw, a back strain. That's your number 2 starter. You're basically co-ace with Walker Buehler. He goes down. He doesn't give you the start here in Game 2. Tony Gonsolin, he was perfect through 3 innings, retired the first 9 Braves batters, and he was exhausted there late in that game, late in that 4th inning. And I blame how the way the Dodgers have developed Tony Gonsolin all year. You let him sit for 17 days without making a start, and I'm telling you, bullpen sessions and simulated games are not going to cut it. And I think that Tony Gonsolin gave it his all today. You saw that swing and miss potential he has. You saw him mowing down guys for the most part. But here we go. I don't blame Pollock for Marcus. We got why the hell is Chris Taylor still on the team? Dude is blanking garbage. Chris Taylor, Like, I think tonight with Chris Taylor, he had a couple shots. That one shot would have been a home run in Dodger Stadium. He had that one that was 108.6 off the bat. And Chris Taylor had been struggling. He was 0 for 13 heading into tonight. Tonight, Chris Taylor, he goes 1 for 4, gets that single there. But here we go. We got this was a winnable game. Anderson wasn't as good as Smoltz says. BS. We got Go Dodgers from Bangkok, Thailand. We got Thailand in the house. It's harder, but not impossible. It is not impossible. Look, hey, like Tommy Lasorda said, the difference between the possible and impossible lies in the man's determination. And I think this Dodger team, they didn't win 43 games in the regular season to go out like chumps. They didn't go out. They're not going to go out like chumps. They need to burn the boats. They need to say there's no looking back. Yes, we're down 0-2, but we take it one pitch, one inning, one game at a time, and the Dodgers will be able to get right back in this series. Like you said, tomorrow they face Kyle Wright. I think they can take Kyle Wright. I think that Fried on a second look, the Dodgers. Look, one thing about this is the first time the Dodgers have faced the Braves all season long. It's clear at this point. It's very evident the Braves are the best team the Dodgers have faced this year, but you haven't faced these hitters during the season. I think these Dodger bats, look, if you were the Braves, yes, you dominated that game for the most part, but that is not what you want to see. That is not how you want to close that game out, to see Cody Bellinger hit a triple, to see Mookie Betts get his first single of the series, to see Max Muncy hit a rocket towering shot, because Max Muncy, if he can get hot, he's a guy that can hit home runs and hit big bombs for this team. And then you also had Corey Seager, who was lighting it up tonight. So I think for the most part, the Dodgers, Justin Turner had a hit early in the game. They found something. They were in a big slump, but I think that heading into Game 3, a must-win Game 3 for the Dodgers, they definitely have momentum with the bat. So Gonsolin did a great job given the situation. I think that's a great way to put it right there. Chris Chavez over on Facebook. Look, Tony Gonsolin, they were keeping him warm. You have to believe that he knew that he was going to get an opportunity to start with Clayton Kershaw. Dave Roberts said they were kicking the can with Clayton Kershaw. And look, it was a valiant effort early on for Tony Gonsolin. If you look at his night, he went out there, like I said, he retired 9 in a row in the first 3 innings of work on just 28 pitches, 4 strikeouts before issuing that leadoff walk to Acuna. He was perfect through 3 innings, averaging just under 10 pitches per inning. But like I said, the wheels fell off there, lost his command there in the 4th inning, and fortunately, he was unable to get out of it. But here we go. Roberts needs to manage the Red Sox. That's his team from Marcos. Yeah, Brian Alex, we lose tomorrow. It's over. Hey, look, yes, technically it is over, in my opinion. If you look at the stats, it's going to be tough to win 4 straight against this Braves team. But if you want to say, look, it's never happened in basketball, but it has happened in baseball, and it happened with our manager. The Red Sox did it in 2004. So Dodgers got cheated again. You guys are a bunch of losers. The Braves will move on. That's ridiculous. We'll see what happens. Mookie has to start getting on base, or we are done. Mookie Betts did get on base. I don't know what you're talking about. Mookie Betts, they had opportunities in this game. If you look at the top of the first, Mookie had a walk. Anderson, that wild pitch in the top of the bottom of the first inning. Mookie drew the walk. Anderson had the wild pitch and that gave the Dodgers runner on second with no outs. Seager strikes out. Justin Turner flies out. Max Muncy walks, and then Will Smith, he scorched that one right to Riley. So he also drew a 1-out walk in the 3rd. So Mookie Betts, he did his job tonight, getting on base twice. Yes, you want to see him find a way to have more success against lefty pitchers. Like yesterday, he was struggling, but hey, he gets that hit there. I still think Mookie Betts is fine, but the Dodgers need to find a way to get him home. Doug Crosby, Baez and Wood are a joke. Yeah, if you want to look at positives tonight, they burned Alex Wood, and Alex Wood, bottom line, was a bad signing by Andrew Freeman. There's no other way to put it. Yes, he did what he did in Game 4, and you got to commend him for that, but Alex Wood does not look the part. He's not an asset for the Dodgers, in my opinion, at this point. But hey, like I said, you burned him in this game, so he'll likely not see action tomorrow or hopefully the next day if there's a high-leverage situation. But here we go. Baez should have been traded from Maria Rodriguez. Jose Roberts needs to go if we don't win a World Series this year. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you feel that way? Should Dave Roberts lose his job if the Dodgers don't advance to the World Series? Let me know down below in the comments. Got some thoughts on that. I'll let you know. But I want to fire off some of your comments, and we'll start breaking this one down. But like I said, if you're on Facebook, be sure to share the show so your friends can join in here on the action on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Your show, the man of the fan, Doug McCain here. So let me get all your takes, your Fire Dodger takes, and if I don't get to it, I'll circle back and make sure I read it. But you guys are firing away in the comments here. We got, I honestly never want to see Baez again from Dominic. Yeah, he had issues throwing strikes when he came in there in that 4th inning. So if you want to break down that 4th inning, Tony Gonsolin walks Acuna for the first base runner of the night. Then Freddie Freeman, he cranks that 2-run shot off Gonsolin, giving the Braves a 2-0 lead on a splitter that completely missed his spot. He missed his spot badly on that one. And to me, why are we letting Freddie Freeman beat us? He's the MVP this year. Why are we giving him pitches like that in the zone? Ones you know he can drive, ones that are in his fun zone, and he took full advantage. He's been very dangerous this series, and it proved during that at bat. So, look, the Braves, they were capitalizing on mistakes. The Dodgers weren't early on. But we'll jump back in this inning. Let me do about bunch of more 10 more comments here. Bullpen is a joke from Jose Rod. We got Rams. Yes, I won him out. I'm done from 5150 Rams over on Periscope. Laura Livingston, Dodgers found their fire. It's late, but stay positive. We can do this. I'm with you. I like that energy. Keep that energy, guys, because they're going to need it if they want to try to make history and be just the fourth team to be able to come back when trailing 0-2 in a league championship series. But I believe in this team, and like I said, it was encouraging what we saw late in that inning. Cody Bellinger, who had looked lost all night. Heading into that Muncy home run, Bellinger and Muncy were combined 0 for 13 in this series. Muncy gets the big 2-run shot, and then Cody Bellinger gets that big triple. Hey, you just never know with that ballpark, the way he hit it. I was thinking maybe it'll be a screamer that will just go over the fence. It didn't happen, and he makes it to third, and you see there definitely is some momentum in that Dodgers locker room right now. They're saying, hey, the bats have come alive when they need it the most, and I think they'll start off tomorrow, and I think you'll see a more aggressive approach by this Dodger team against Kyle Wright. Yes, you want to work that pitch count up, but you also want to work that scoreboard up, and you want to put points on the board, and it's nice to get to their bullpen earlier. But hey, if there's pitches there, you saw Jock Peterson miss a pitch tonight. You saw Cody Bellinger miss some pitches tonight. You saw pretty much all the Dodgers up and down the order were missing some meatballs throughout the game in certain spots. And I think that if you find a pitch you know you can drive, it's going to be more valuable to try to take a shot at it than try to work that pitch count up. So I think that they need to modify their approach just a little bit. But bullpen is a joke from Orion Montez. They're taxed. Real juice. A.J. Pollock has a worse playoff record than Kershaw on crack. Bruce Davis, Dodgers will be done Friday. Gilbert Roberts will stay even if the guys gel in the clubhouse. We need more gel on the field. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Dave Roberts' job is in jeopardy. I think that's a very complicated conversation, and I think that him and Andrew Freeman have a good working relationship. He executes Andrew Freeman's vision on the field, and his clubhouse culture gets guys to buy in. But at some point, this is a results-based business, and Dave Roberts – Look, the some things about Dave Roberts. He's the first manager to win his division in his first 5 years in Major League Baseball history. He's got a 600-plus winning percentage. He's been to 2 World Series, but Dave Roberts, I don't put the blame on tonight's loss on Dave Roberts. To me, it was those ice-cold bats, colder than Rob Manfred in an igloo tonight early on. Then they come alive. Then they start producing some runs, and this is a different team. They need to pick up this pitching staff that is ailing, considering their second ace goes down with a back strain, considering you didn't get big innings from Walker Buehler there in Game 1. It was a valiant effort by Tony Gonsolin through 3, but I'm telling you, he was gassed. He wasn't even finishing his pitches there in that 4th inning, having a tough time finding the strike zone there. And like I said, I'm not fond of how the Dodgers handled Tony Gonsolin throughout this season, whether it be sending him down to the training site, to not having him be a prime. You got to develop him as your number 3 starter. You have to know what you have, and Tony Gonsolin has big-time swing and miss stuff that plays up in the postseason, and you saw it there in that first 3 innings. But bats need to get blazing hot from Gilbert. We got Pierce. It's nice to see the bats come alive. Joe Bennett, I still say Dodgers in 7. We played better away from Dodger Stadium. Turner Who, Josh Hickman from YouTube. We got Marcos, Biases, Trash, Alex Garza, Dodgers Nation, don't panic. We're still in this. Ryan, Dodgers got this 4-3, Doug. I like that. Hey, I'd take a 7-game series considering the fact that it's going to be over this week. There is no travel days. This time tomorrow, we'll be talking about the results of Game 3. So it's a quick turnaround. The Dodgers have that momentum. And you know what they say? Momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. And Julio Urias really is the most reliable, consistent pitcher on this Dodger staff throughout this postseason. Pitched 3 scoreless against the Brewers, and you saw what he did against the San Diego Padres. So I have faith that Julio Urias is going to come out there tomorrow, execute. He's poised under pressure, and I think that the Dodger bats are going to have much more success tomorrow against Kyle Wright. And then you got to get yourself back in this series. You got to take it one game at a time, and it's unfortunate the Dodgers fall short tonight. almost make a comeback there. And unfortunately, A.J. Pollock grounds out to the end of the night for the Dodgers. But we need LeBron to pitch Game 3 and Wolf. It's pretty interesting. That's actually really interesting. This is no knock on Clayton Kershaw because Clayton Kershaw has carried this franchise for so many years. And look, his back hurts, and I think there's a coincidence there, right, with Clayton Kershaw's back hurting and the fact that he's carried this franchise for so many years. But also, look, like LeBron James said, your best ability is your availability, and superstars like Clayton Kershaw, man, you'd love to see him in tonight's game and delivering, but unfortunately it wasn't the case. Tony Gonsolin, look, I mean, considering the circumstances, it's tough to crack down on Tony Gonsolin, a guy who hasn't pitched in 17 days. And the last time he pitched, he gave up 4 earned runs against the Angels. But here we go. It ain't over. Taylor Roberts isn't decent. Jesus train. Doug, why do you think the Dodgers? Why do you think the Dodgers got momentum when they lost? I mean, hey, to me, it's pretty obvious if you watch that last inning. The Dodgers' offense in the series has been anemic. I mean, heading into that inning there where they were able to put up some serious runs, and they put up 4 runs there in that 9th inning, 7 runs there in that 3 runs in that 7th inning. And the Dodgers, they put up runs 7 innings and beyond, and you saw it there late. And Corey Seager looks locked in. Bellinger, that was one of the better swings I've seen him take on a ball since the Padres series. And then Max Muncy is the key, because Max Muncy, unless he's doing what he did there in that 9th inning, he has no business hitting cleanup. So that's exactly why we got Mr. Bubble up over on YouTube. Doug, you're the manager of the Dodgers. Your team is down 0-2. And here, I'll get back to that one. I lost in the comments here. We got Scott Urias has to get out of the first without giving up any runs, and he's shown the ability to do that in recent starts. And for his career, that's something that hasn't been an issue with him if you look at his body of work throughout his whole career, something that snuck up on him this year. But I think that he's going to come out with that killer instinct in that first inning and set the tone for this Dodger team. But here we go. Body language is horrible in the dugout. Jordan Jake, I definitely think that's a solid point. I mean, look, bottom line, the Braves are out hitting the Dodgers. The Braves are out pitching the Dodgers, and they look like they're having more fun in the dugout, and they look like their energy is on another level than the Dodgers right now. It almost reminds me of how our dugout looked in the Padres series versus the Padres. And it looks like the tables have turned, but hey, you got to keep that energy high. You can't keep those heads low. You got to just believe that you're going to come through at some point. And today, the Dodgers, they were able to put up 4 runs there in that 9th inning. It was too little, too late. But if you're a fan of moral victories, which I think in baseball, the way slumps work, I mean, you have to feel, if you want to feel good about something tonight, it has to be the late inning offense by the Dodgers there. But yeah, unfortunately, it was not enough. I was hoping that they would find a way to tie it. A.J. Pollock, I did not like his at bat there. He did not look like he was poised for that spot there. I mean, he had a chance to deliver, and A.J. Pollock, I think he would like to have that at-bat back, especially that first pitch where he just swung at it and didn't look like it was a competitive swing there. That's a pitcher. So many fake fans from Angel. Ryan, yeah, I honestly had a feeling we'd win once Bellinger hit the triple. That made me realize the monster, woke up. Yeah, exactly. It's like look, this team was a juggernaut offensively all season long. 118 home runs, almost 2 home runs a game, 5.8 runs per game. This team, they know how to score runs, and they know how to put up some big crooked numbers and have big innings. Unfortunately, they were quiet for the majority of Game 1 and the majority of Game 2, but this is a 7-game series. It's not a 1-game series. It's not a 2-game series. The Dodgers, they're not going to go down without a fight. Like I said, they need to burn the boats. Burn the boats because there's no coming back. You have to have your eyes set on that World Series title. The Dodgers have to come through, and they have to hunt down the Braves in Game 3, in Game 4, and then Clayton Kershaw. You're gonna have a more rested Clayton Kershaw, hopefully, when he makes his start, whether it be Game 4 or Game 5. And I think Walker Buehler is due for another big start. So, look, hey, the ebbs and flows of that Brewers series last year where the Dodgers, look, it came down to winning a Game 7 on the road. This team has shown the moxie, the fight, the toughness to find a way to get through some of these teams that it looked like they were neck and neck. But I think the Dodgers can find a way to pull away in this series. Look, if the Dodgers had gone out without a fight tonight and they lose by a score of 8-1, or 8-3 or whatever it may be. I might be singing a different tune right now, but I do think that the Dodgers offense can find a way. Look, they were just tight. I mean, they were just so tight for the majority of game one. They were tight for the majority of game two. I mean, they were tighter than Frank McCourt wearing Walker Buehler's pants during most of this series, but it looks like they've loosened up, looks like they have a more relaxed approach at the plate, and they've seen themselves have big hits, unfortunately, in a loss. So, look, it's not over yet. The Dodgers, their backs are against the wall. There's no question about it. The Dodgers could very well go on to lose this series, but if you do want to look at the glass half full, you got to look at those late innings there and the ability for the Dodgers to score some runs. Now, unfortunately, the biggest issue, well, here we go. We're not burning boats. They're burning our boats. We got Jose Rod. You got to score earlier in the game. That's from Jose Rod 05 over on YouTube. Absolutely big facts from Jose Rod. And the Dodgers, like I said, they had their opportunities there. If you look in the bottom of the third, Chris Taylor, he leads the third off. He hits a rocket to the warning track in center for the first out. Would have been a home run at Dodger Stadium, or pretty much any stadium for that matter. I almost think that was like karma for Cody Bellinger robbing Tatis Jr.'s home run. Maybe now things are even now that Chris Taylor's didn't go out. And then on a 3-2 count, Mookie Betts takes ball 4 inside, his second walk of the night. Justin Turner singles to right center, stays inside on a fastball. Nice piece of hitting there from Justin Turner. And then some aggressive base running there by Mookie Betts. The throw by Pache was wide, and he didn't have a chance, but he goes to third on the play. So the Dodgers runners on the corners with 2 outs there, and then Max Muncy takes a 4-pitch walk to load the bases, and then Will Smith, he grounds to third to end the threat. So at that point, the Dodgers 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position through the first 3. So they had their opportunities. In game 1, they were 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position for the entire night, and then through 3 innings, Dodgers already 4 opportunities, but they just couldn't cash in. And like you said, Jose Rod over on YouTube, they do need to find a way to score earlier, because that is when the Dodgers are really at their best, when they come out and they set the tone. And yeah, I definitely agree with that point 100% on that one. But we got Blue Crew since day one over on Mundo on Facebook. Somebody just turned the clock forward to just a 4-0 sweep. It's over. OB, do we go after AJ Hinch in the offseason? Absolutely not. I'd rather have – oh, gosh. I was about to say something nasty, man. But no, we will not be going after AJ Hinch under any circumstances. We got I Have Hope from Marina. We have 5150. Go after anyone else. Do you guys ever just want to just let the series play out and see the outcome before you want to make all these rash decisions on Dave Roberts and trade away the whole entire team? Why don't we let this team finish out something they deserve, something they've earned? They've earned the right to play the Braves for 7 games in the NLCS, and yes, their backs are against the wall, down 0-2 to get to this Braves club, but hey, don't sell this team short. This is a Dodgers team that won 43 games this year. They just beat the San Diego Padres in 3 straight. I think this team has fight in them, and I think tomorrow they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, with an edge, with Julio Urias, their most consistent pitcher in the postseason, and I think that tomorrow the Dodgers will get a win and get right back in the series, because you tie things up. Look, like I said, this is not your normal 7-game series. It's not like we're going to go to Atlanta and hear that racist tomahawk chop, right, for the whole entire game with loud screaming Atlanta fans, right? It's not going to be like that. It is in Texas, and the only difference is the Dodgers will be sporting their road grays, and they'll be batting first, and they won't be batting last. So I definitely have faith that this Dodger team can make this a series tomorrow by winning Game 3, and they're not heading back to Atlanta. There really is no home field advantage. Yes, there's Braves fans there, there's Dodgers fans there, but we're talking 10,000 fans. It's not something that's going to affect the team on the field. And in baseball in general is a team that when it comes to home field advantage, it doesn't move the needle like other sports. But good point, Doug. We take this series. I promise you. That's from Base Lord. We got Santiago. We already know they're choking this year. We need the players can play. Dodgers got this from John Joseph Megazani. Yeah, all this doomsday nonsense doesn't help this team. Exactly. This Dodgers doomsday mentality is something that I mean, we really have to just kind of stay patient and allow this team to work things out, because I do think that, look, I mean, Clayton Kershaw, they had they fully believed that Clayton Kershaw was going to give them a quality start today. He had that back spasm. He did some dry work today, and the Dodgers are a team that's capable of coming back. I mean, don't kid yourself. Late in that game, they showed what was possible. I mean, just look at the 1981 World Series. The Dodgers, they trailed. They lost the first 2 games to the New York Yankees. They come back, and they beat the Yankees, and they win 4 straight. This is a team that can come back and win games, okay? And I'm confident that this Dodger team can get it done. But here we go. We got Hope. Fake fans get out from Angel. Raul, Dodgers in 7. Yeah, let me know down below in the comments. Give me your prediction for how this series will end up. How will this series end up? Let me know down below in the comments section. Jansen will pitch tomorrow to close out the game. If it's close, well, hey, he is going to be rested. So we'll see how that pans out. We got we'll lose 5. Baez kills us. We got can't wait for spring training 2021. 8 straight disappointments from YouTube over on Me Riho. We got 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. All blue foo. I like that one. That could be a t-shirt, bro. Braves in 5 for Matt Age. Game 7 over on YouTube from Daniel Mendoza. Dodgers in 6. Daniel Mendoza on Facebook. Damien gonna go 7. Who you got though, Damien? How's it gonna end up? Dodgers in 7. Rick, only 1 series lost all season. Not worried. Yeah, only 1 series lost. That was to the Rockies at home. The Dodgers have lost 2 games in a row, 5 straight times. They've never lost 3 straight games. So this Dodger team, winning is a habit. And they're gonna come out tomorrow and they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad at, one, how poorly they played in the first 70% of the series, and then 2, that they weren't able to pull off that comeback there late in that game. That is a loss that stings, and you come out and you get a mad win tomorrow. So don't give up on your Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, look at the Lakers this year. The Lakers lost Game 1 to the Houston Rockets. Look at the Lakers. They lost Game 1 to the Portland Trailblazers. The Lakers were coming back facing adversity all series long. So So the Dodgers definitely have it in them to make the comeback and find a way to make this a series. And I definitely have faith that the Dodgers will get it done. And but here we go. We got Dodgers will win 4 straight. Mark my words. Let me make sure I got your name there. We got Dodgered over on Twitch. Dodgers in 7 from Brian Alex. We got Damien. Sorry, Doug. Of course, Dodgers said, "Hey, I got you, man. I just want to make sure, man. I just want to make sure." Your best outfitter is Melanson. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I have to give him that. That was pretty awesome. He was so smooth with it, catching that home run the other day. But I think it was Albie's home run there yesterday. They better be embarrassed and mad at themselves. It's all mental from Esmeralda Lugo over on Facebook. We got Mario Serna. I don't know about you Dodger fans, but I'm still celebrating our Lakers. They played all game. Dave Metters, 1 game at a time, just win tomorrow. 51-50 Rams. Okay, who do the Braves start tomorrow? 1 ERA guy, lefty. No, it's going to be Kyle Wright. He's a guy, a lot of sinker slider action, 94, 95 on the gun. I'm the Dodgers. He's a guy that, I think his career started 0 for 7. He's not a guy that has been dominant. He's another young pitcher like we saw today with Ian Anderson. And I think the Dodgers will find a way to score runs early, like Jose Rod over on YouTube pointed out earlier. I think the Dodgers will ride this momentum into tomorrow, and I think it's good that they're on the road team because you know why? They're the road team tomorrow, meaning they get first ups, and they're going to pick up where they left off in tonight's game. They're going to find a way to manufacture runs, and I think tomorrow you'll see this Dodger team. They know tomorrow is a must-win game. They know that you can't fall behind 3-0 in the NLCS and expect to come back. They know tomorrow they win Game 3. Clayton Kershaw could come back for that pivotal Game 4, which already kind of makes my heart stop for a second there. But look, you got to take it 1 pitch at a time, 1 inning at a time. Lots of cliches for that one, but it's the truth. It's the truth. The Dodgers have to find a way to make the most of each and every at-bat. And like I said, I want to see this Dodger team be a little more aggressive at the plate and try to get a happy medium between this grinded out, pass the baton approach that Kike Hernandez was talking about, but also there's opportunities for pitches that they're just missing or they're laying off of, and you saw it throughout this game in the early parts. But we got Jude Franco. It's not looking good. All we can do is hope the team turns it around tomorrow and goes on a winning streak, yeah, look, this team is capable of going on a winning streak. The last time they lost a game, they ran off 9 straight. This team, for as successful as they've been all season long, there's a lot of streaky players on this team. Max Muncy, very streaky. Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger, a lot of streaky hitters on this team. Even Mookie Betts, some of his slumps kind of have gone unnoticed, but Mookie Betts tonight, he gets a couple walks in a single, and I think that Mookie Betts, as the catalyst at the top of the order there, he's going to set the tone and find a way to get on base. But tomorrow, I think the difference is the Dodgers will find a way to slug more. And it won't be these singles. I think you're going to start to see the Dodgers' power numbers go up here. But here we go, guys. We got no fire in our Dodgers. Give them some roids. Mario. Shout out from Taiwan. Hey, what's up? The international show, guys. Hey, shout out to Jared Chu over in Taiwan. Hey, this is not Dodgers Nation. It's Dodgers Nations because people tune around all over the world. I love it. We can still win this series. We got Ben. You got coaches like LaRussa and Sosha available. If we lose, Roberts has to go. I actually heard that LaRussa is probably going to go to the White Sox. He has that relationship there. So I've heard that that rumor. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but hey, look. I mean, Jerry Reinsdorf and LaRussa are tight. So I don't know. But like I said, we'll have all off season to talk about major changes. But I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm still in the thick of this series. The Dodgers down 2-0. You hate to see it. You hate the fact that the Dodgers are trailing 2-0. But look, it's a 7-game series. It's a long series. The Dodgers have the depth, and they do have the. Now the concern for me really is the pitching staff. I don't think it has the depth that people make it out to have. I think that there's a lot of arms out there that are questionable at times. And look, I mean, our most reliable pitch arm right now is like guys like Bruce Dark-Vatterall, Victor Gonzalez. I think Joe Kelly did a nice job tonight, but we're gonna have to pick it up in all facets. But Michael Ford, Doug, would you have used Rio for Pollock? That's a good question, and the answer for me is no. You had the righty. You had the righty there. You had the righty there, and I think that you don't want to hurt AJ Pollock's confidence like that. So I would. Was it been ideal to have in that spot? Look, I mean, I think that like some guy like it would be ideal to have Will Smith there, one of our Justin Turner, AJ Pollock. He's never had a big monster postseason hit for this club, so you don't know. But for the postseason, AJ Pollock is hitting 261 in the postseason. He's 6 for 23, and in that inning right there, I think if you're the Dodgers there, you might want to consider it. But look, I mean, Edwin Rios cold off the bench. I don't see it. I mean, there is it's tough. It's tough. I mean, Tomlin, he's a righty. So if you hit Matt Beatty it's a tough one. I mean, hindsight hyena, right? Hindsight is 20/20, but I think AJ Pollock he left more to be desired there in that at bat. But to answer your question, I think you got to keep him warm because I think AJ Pollock is a guy where you pull him in that situation, you could be risking future hits from AJ Pollock. He's a guy that 16 home runs on the year. They're gonna need his power, but look, Matt Beatty, Edwin Rios, you got there on the bench, haven't got very much playing time. Edwin Rios hasn't even played yet, so in this series, neither has Matt Beatty. But AJ needs internal confidence. Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a guy that you don't want to break his confidence. You don't want to say that, hey, we don't believe you, we don't trust you in that spot. But if you do look at that, that is a pretty interesting possibility. But they went with Pollock, and fortunately, the Dodgers were unable to get it done though. But Turner needs to sit. No, I don't think that Justin Turner. You have to bank on the fact that he's going to turn it around. You really do have to hope that Justin Turner starts to find it. And tonight, Justin Turner, though, Justin Turner, he ends up going on the night. He ends up 1 for 5 with that strikeout. That strikeout really hurt there late there in that 9th inning. But if you look at his splits, AJ Pollock's hitting 286 against righties. He's hitting 286 against righties, which is a reverse split. He's hitting 250 against lefties there. So, look, I think they felt confident with AJ Pollock there in that spot. He just wasn't able to get a hit, and the Dodgers weren't able to make it all the way back there. But A couple things. Be sure, guys, to subscribe to the Dodgers. Actually, be sure to support the Dodgers Nation shop. Guys, get geared up, get merched up, get some fire t-shirts for the postseason run. Also, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel over at youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. Hit that subscribe button. Got the hype videos. You got the postseason, the post-game press conference, all kinds of stuff, everything Dodgers over there. Then also be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation Dodgers Dugout podcast. And what the podcast is, we take all of your takes from tonight's episode and we condense it, and we also add additional analysis and post-game reaction from Dave Roberts, the manager, and all the players. So be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, and be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. But yeah, let's jump back into this comment section here, then we'll keep breaking down this game. Train. Dodgers are Train. I mean, what team? Train. Like, what is your deal, my man? Like, no offense, but, I mean, if you're not a Dodgers fan, do you really spend an hour of your day to trash the Dodgers? Hey, it helps me in the comment section, but I'm not mad at you. Do you, man? I'm not telling you to stop. I'm just curious. What team are you a fan of, Train? Let me know down below in the comments here. We got Mike Scioscia, 2021. I don't think Mike Scioscia is he's not a very analytics-driven manager. I don't see that pairing with Andrew Freeman. But like I said, we are going to have plenty of time to talk wholesale changes if the Dodgers aren't able to prevail. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet because I don't want to give that life, okay? I still want to believe that the Dodgers can find a way to get back in the series tomorrow with Julio Urias on the bump and this Dodger offense starting to click right there with the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings there. So Fire Dave, get him out of there. Angel, haha, get him out of here. Jose Rod, this has to be the second longest time slot between titles for Brooklyn, LA Dodgers. First one was when they were established and they won in 59, constantly coming up short. Look, I mean, hey, that's to me, look, I would never change this toxic relationship we have with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but that's just me. I commit to a team, and they're a team. They're my team until I'm 6 feet deep. But that's how I get down. I bleed Dodger blue. But look, like Vince Scully said, nothing ever comes easy for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They lose to the Yankees like 5-6 times before they're able to get it done in 1955. Look, that's just the nature of the beast. Maybe Kirk Gibson's home run was a sign that of some type of reverse curse. I don't know. But look, I'm going to keep rooting for this team to win a World Series, and they're not out of it yet. And you didn't watch tonight's game if you believe that. I went from feeling worried about tomorrow's game to feeling good from Ryan. We got they need us. From CP, we need a better pitching coach. The Bruin Trojan team is not working. That's pretty interesting right there. Yeah, exactly. Mike Pryor's a Trojan, right? Then Dave Roberts is a Bruin. At least the Lakers got it done. A Padres fan, LMFAO, no way. We got, look, basketball. I don't want to get into that debate, actually, but walk Freeman now. That's what I was saying earlier, but let's get back into this recap. So top of the 4th inning right there. He gives up that home run to Freeman, and that gives the Braves a 2-0 lead. Gonsolin, he gave up just 2 home runs all season long, and the Braves have scored first in each of their first 8 postseason games. So tomorrow, that's how we flip the script on this Braves team, is we got to strike first blood tomorrow, because the Braves, they've shown an ability to get out in front of their opponents, and it's led to a postseason run where they've been dominating their way through the National League. But Gonsolin, he ends up getting Ozuna swinging on a slider for the first out of the inning, his 5th punch out of the game, strikes out d'Arnaud on a fastball for the 2nd out. Then Albies gets a 2-out single on Gonsolin that goes over the glove of CT3. Dansby grounds out for the 3rd out, but the Braves strike first blood. The 2-run shot by Freddie Freeman, 28 pitches through the first 3 innings combined for Tony Gonsolin, 33 pitches there in that 4th. So the Dodgers, they had 5 runners on in 3 innings, 0 runs. The Braves, 2 runners on and 2 runs. So, look, they were taking advantage of their opportunities when the Dodgers weren't. But with Tony Gonsolin in that inning particularly, he lost command of that strike zone. He was nibbling outside the zone. He found it was difficult for him to command the strike zone, was not painting like he needed to, and there were just way too many full counts. They were fouling off pitches. And, then we jumped to the top of the 5th. He strikes out Riley for his 7th strikeout of the game. Then on a 3-2 count, he misses inside to Markakis and issues a 1-out walk. And then Pache doubles down the left field line, and Markakis scores from first to make it 3-0 Braves. Walks Acuna, and like I said, he just wasn't finishing hitters, wasn't even finishing his pitches there. He looked gassed. And the Dodgers, they turned to Pedro Baez in that spot. Freeman hits a base hit into left center, scoring Pache, making it 4-0 Braves. He walks Ozuna, walks d'Arnaud with the bases loaded to make it 5-0 Braves. And then Albies gets a sac fly to center, a phenomenal play there by Cody Bellinger to save probably 2 or 3 runs. So he definitely made a great play on that one. But 21 pitches for Pedro Baez, just 9 for strikes for Petey Baez there. 9 batters went to the plate there in that 5th inning. 4 scored, 4 walks in the inning. That tied an NLCS record. 4 walks had been done 7 times, and the Dodgers, when you're tying records like that, the odds of you winning that game are not very good. So it was too little too late for the Dodgers tonight. But let's jump back in here into this comment section. We got Let's Go Dodgers. We got Tampa Bay 5, Astros 1, top of the 6th. Thanks for that update. I even forgot they were playing. Anthony, if they lose tomorrow, it's over. I think that's a pretty valid comment. It's tough for me to dispute that. We got Ryan. Baez needs to never pitch on this team ever again. Hey, he definitely won't pitch on this team ever again. Like the producer of the show, Real FRG, Mr. Clint Pacia, said that it's probably going to be the last year for Pedro Baez on the Los Angeles Dodgers. But if you're talking about the rest of this run, they're going to need him to get outs. The bullpen is not deep enough where you can just sit guys like Baez or Kenley Jansen. They're going to, unfortunately, have to deliver if this team's going to advance. But we got Angels. So many worried fans in here. One game at a time. Dodgers Nation, this series just begun, so get ready to enjoy this run. Angel, I needed that. I needed that at this point of the show because I'm trying to stay optimistic. And trust me, if you guys watch the show, I pretty much call it like it is, call it like I see it. I definitely veer on the side of optimism during certain times. But look, like I said, this offense was ice cold, and the big time, the superstars need to produce for this club for us to advance. And it was a tough game today with Clayton Kershaw being a late scratch to that back injury. Tony Gonsolin there, they assume, hey, we're going to just ride Tony Gonsolin as long as we can. He gave it everything he had today, and fortunately, he just did not have enough in the tank. And personally, like I said, I'm not a fan of how they've used Tony Gonsolin this year. I think that if they had recognized how good he was, his talent level, I think they would have developed him into a more concrete starter, especially after David Price went down. So, Doug, what do you think about the Rays destroying the Astros? I think I'm conflicted on it because, one, I definitely hate the Astros more than anything in the world, and then two, or than any team in the world, there's things that are more important than baseball that I hate, like black licorice and mushrooms. But when it comes to like teams, the Astros are definitely on the top of that list. But I do think the Dodgers would easily get past the Houston Astros. I think the Dodgers, if they were somehow able to advance in this series, if they played the Astros, the Rays pose a much tougher task when it comes to getting past the Rays, because I think that Rays team is something special with the arms they have, the bullpen, the starters. They got some hot batters right now, so I think the Rays would definitely be a tougher challenge. But yeah, at this point I'm focused on finding a way to come back down 0-2 in the NLCS to advance to their 3rd World Series in the last 4 years. I definitely think it's possible. The Dodgers will eventually win a ring from Raul over on YouTube. We got Joseph Ortega. Yeah, it's on. I believe the Dodgers will get it. Wake up bats from Exoshi Mundo. We got Brian David. Don't understand why they score all the runs on the 9th. That needs to happen in the 1st. Annoying. I think you're right, and I think that the takeaway there is there was a sense of desperation. There was a sense of, look, we're going to go out swinging here in this 9th inning, and we're not going to worry about working this pitch count up. We're not going to worry about – we're going to be at the plate, and we're going to take these at-bats, put the bat to ball, and try to work this try to score some runs and not try to work this pitch count up. And I think you saw a more free-swinging team there in that 9th inning, and I think that that's the approach they should have for the rest of the series. Yes, if you can draw walks, it's great. Yes, if you can burn through their starters, it's great. But you don't want to miss pitches. You don't want to have players passively taking pitches and missing pitches. And there were certain situations tonight that was clear that what the Dodgers' approach was. And I think that the Dodgers need to find a way to find a happy medium between executing their approach but also staying aggressive enough on offense so they can score runs like they did there in that 9th inning when they put up 4 runs in that 9th frame and you put up 3 runs there in that 7th frame. So I think you're absolutely right on that one. You don't blow this team up. It just needs fine-tuning from N-Wolf over on YouTube. We got Verdell Newsom losing these first 2 games. A lot of pressure on Urias. It does, but look, he's got the ticker for it. He's got the poise on the mound, and I have full confidence. Look, at this point, if I could have anyone on the mound tomorrow, I really truly believe it would be Julio Urias. Yes, you can talk about that first inning ERA that's north of 7, but if you saw late in the year, he was able to work on that, and he's been lights out for the most part in this postseason. Against the Brewers, against the Padres, Julio Urias has pitched well this postseason, and like I said, if there was anyone I would want on this team pitching tomorrow, I think it would be Julio Urias. And let me ask that question to you guys. Who would you guys want pitching tomorrow in what's essentially an elimination game? I mean, yes, anything's possible, absolutely. But tomorrow, if you just dig yourself into a deep hole, if you fall down 3-0, yes, I would still believe until the very last game. But if you look at Julio Urias, 8 innings pitched in the postseason 2020, 8 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, a 6.3 whip, 2 games, 8 innings, a 0 ERA. So, hey, Julio Urias is the most consistent and reliable pitcher for the Dodgers right now, and I want to see him get the ball tomorrow, and I'm very confident Julio Urias is going to lead this Dodger pitching to victory, and I think the bats will have a spark after what we saw late today. But they're going to eat up Urias tomorrow from Luis Hernandez. J-Fish, tell Train to stop. I don't know if I get all of Train's comments here, but Train clearly is very excited there in the comments. I mean, hey, we got to Train get the F out. Train's a troll, man. The T in Train stands for troll. It's all good, man. It's all good, dude. I mean, do your thing, but at some point, I mean, you're that guy at the party that's just like making a fool of himself, and everyone's just like, this guy has to leave because like he just fell on the table and just messed up everything, fell on the cake. He's really drunk. Get him out of here. Train, you're that guy. But hey, keep doing you, man. Julio or Dustin from Terrence Wang. Dude needs to be on point. Yes. Predict Julio Urias' outing tonight. I got Julio Urias going 5. Listen, I think he was going to go. I think Julio Urias tomorrow will give the Dodgers 5 innings. 5 solid innings for Julio Urias tomorrow. And I think the Dodgers bats will put up runs and give him some run support. So let me know down below in the comments. Isaac, Dodgers, be ready to hit and come out swinging. Urias has postseason pressure experience. He does against the Brewers. I mean, this guy has had some big series. In his postseason career, 23 2/3 innings, a 3.42 ERA, 14 games. So he's pitched 14 games, a sub-1 whip. And, I look for Julio Urias to pitch well tomorrow, especially when you consider, look, I mean, this guy has wipeout. He's got great stuff, and he's peaking at the right time for his season. So I definitely feel good about Julio Urias for the Dodgers tomorrow. But here we go. I like Julio Urias going 5 solid. Yeah, I think he's going 5 solid, maybe 6. And, I mean, look, in 2000 against the Braves, Julio Urias, he went 3, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks. So as long as he doesn't walk guys, especially leadoff walks, Julio Urias is dangerous. He's elite when it comes to inducing soft contact. And you know the Braves, they're a team that likes to ambush. They're a team that likes to hit fastballs. And the way he can mix it up and work his pitch mix, I'm very confident that he's the right guy to get the ball for tomorrow. And then against the Padres in the clincher where the Dodgers won 12-3, he was the bulk guy, right? 5 innings pitched, gave up no runs, 6 strikeouts to just 1 walk against the Padres. And then last year, Julio Urias against the Nationals, Julio Urias, his last start in the loss, the 6-1 loss, the game before, gave up 3 runs, but the first 2 games, his first 2 appearances, he went 3 innings, gave up no runs, and then in 2018, Julio Urias, if you remember, against the Brewers, they put him in some pretty big spots in that series as well. So I think Julio Urias is a guy that's going to come up, is going to pitch well for the Dodgers tomorrow. We're going to get a furious Urias, and I think that he's going to lead the Dodgers. Braves are winning Game 3 from Seton Henderson. Train, Urias is a choker. Train, you got to get a little more creative, man. You got to get a little more creative. I'm going to try to mentally just block your comments so I don't read them anymore. Base Lord, some players should play small and play bunt and hit home runs. Yeah, you definitely want to see an element of that when it comes to the Dodgers. I thought that Mookie, there was an opportunity where he might steal second there. He ends up advancing on a wild pitch there. But The Bullets, 51-50 are the Braves out of Bullets. Game 3 and Game 4 blew their wad. I mean, they definitely went pretty deep tonight. I mean, if you look at the games 1 and 2, I mean, tonight they go for Tomlin, Melanson, Anderson, Madzik, O'Day, Minter, Martin. I mean, they definitely threw a lot of guys tonight. And then tomorrow I think it's going to be the youth of Kyle Wright. I don't know if he's going to be able to have success against this Dodger team that is going to be desperate, and they don't want to be the dead ball Dodgers like I've been calling them with this inept offense. I think this Dodger team wants to go out swinging. I think tomorrow, look, if they win tomorrow, we have a series, period, end of story. If the Dodgers win tomorrow, it goes to a critical Game 4, and if the Dodgers are able to win that, look, remember, Atlanta, they fared very well this postseason, and for them to take a loss tomorrow after what we saw, there was definitely a clear momentum swing in tonight's game, late in the game. And I think this Dodger offense, there's a spark in them now. They're going to play with more fire, and I think that also falls on Dave Roberts. So Dave has to have them ready. He has to light a fire under them for tomorrow's game if the Dodgers are going to get back in this series. But we got Fire Roberts from Careless. We got Ruben. We got Jose Rod. Back-to-back nights from Melanson, from Jose Rod over there. I want Giants, Melanson, so we can have a shot. Yeah, exactly. Gratterall, 2 innings tomorrow. Urias, 5. Gratterall, 6 and 7, and have 4 runs into the 8th. Yeah, I'm hoping that Kenley Jansen tomorrow is able to give the Dodgers a solid inning if the Dodgers are able to build a lead because he's very rested. So we got Bryce over on Periscope. Win tomorrow, and Kershaw will pitch Game 4. He'll be under some rest. Hopefully with back spasms, hopefully he wakes up tomorrow and feels just fine because they definitely need a big start from Clayton Kershaw. And we want to talk about a legacy start, but hey, we are not there yet. You can't look too far ahead. You have to just look at what's right in front of you, and that tomorrow is a big Game 3 with Julio Urias on the mound. So if we go back to that, let's jump back into this game here. Bottom of the 5th, they had an opportunity too. Mookie, he flies out. Seager gets the Dodgers' 6th free ride of the night. So the 6th free ride in the 5th inning there. So the Dodgers, they were getting their walks during this game, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to cash in on them. But 6 walks, 1 hit, and then Justin Turner, he grounds into a double play. And then in the top of the 6th, McGee actually had a nice night tonight. Got to give McGee some love. Jake McGee, after giving up that home run to Albies the other night, he comes in there in the 6th. He gets Riley to strike out swing. Markakis, he smokes a double to left. And then, that was on that in that inning. But then Jake McGee, he gets Pesci, he strikes out Pesci and Acuna there. So then at the top of the 7th, Alex Wood comes in to pitch the 7th. Freddie Freeman grounds to first for the first out. Ozuna pops to short for the 2nd. Darno walks, then Albies singles. Swanson gets a 2-out ground rule double, and that makes it 7-0 Braves. They intentionally walk Riley, and then Markakis flies to right for the 3rd out. The Braves get another run there, which proved to be the key run for the Braves. So give the Braves credit tonight for getting those insurance runs when they were already putting up big innings, but the Braves, they get 2 big runs there, 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 9th, and it proved to be the difference with the Dodgers able to make a storming comeback there. And then in the 7th inning, Jock Peterson, he reaches on an infield single. Chris Taylor gets a line drive base hit to left to give the Dodgers runners on 1st and 2nd with no outs. And then Mookie Betts, he strikes out swing for the 1st out of the inning. And then with 2 on, Corey Seager, he crushes a hanging cutter 460 feet to get a little closer. It made it 7-3 Braves at that point. But, hey, he just demolished that hanging cutter. And Corey Seager on the night, he ends up going 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So Corey Seager, who a lot of people want to say is the Dodgers MVP this year, has come up big in Game 2. And tonight, I think that he's going to ride that momentum. He's another guy that's a very streaky hitter as well. So the Dodgers, unfortunately, unable to get it done tonight, and tomorrow is a big game. So let me get some score predictions out of you guys. Let me get some score predictions right at the end here. Here we go. But yeah, that was a big dodge. We got Julio is good for 4 and 5, asking a lot for him for 7. Yeah, bullpen can't allow that, plain and simple. Need to hold the score. Isaac Garza, Dodger bats are feeling that Texas heat now. Our offense is awake. Yeah, I definitely think that's a fantastic point. Is this Dodger offense is definitely awake there. If you want to look at that 7th inning, they get 3 in the 7th, they get 4 in the 9th there, and yeah, you just thought that could have been one of those big moments there. One of those big moments there in that 9th inning. But unfortunately, the Dodgers, they come up short. But that's why you just have to find a way to get big runs early on games. You can't put yourself in that situation. Greg Wilson, Doug, who will be the X factor on offense? That's a great question. And to me, if I'm looking at one guy, I think tomorrow, I think the Dodgers need to find a way to get some big home runs. So I think that Justin Turner, yes, we know he's the X factor as far as in the 3-hole. He's a guy that's going to get big hits. But I think the X factor tomorrow is going to be Max Muncy. I think Max Muncy, that big home run that he hit tonight, if Max Muncy can find a hot streak and he can hit some home runs, I think that he can carry this Dodgers offense. But really, it's really just a collective effort. I think that Will Smith, he goes 1 for 5. He's hitting the ball really hard. Again, he's having bad luck. A.J. Pollock goes 1 for 5. Jock Peterson. But Max Muncy is that cleanup guy. If Mookie Betts is going to reach base, if Corey Seager is going to do his job, if they're going to put him in that 4th hole, Max Muncy has to produce. I don't care if it's doubles, singles. Walks aren't getting it done for Max Muncy. He's walking quite a bit. He leads the team in postseason walks, but we need him to start slugging. So I think it's the funky Muncy that has to produce. And to me, without question, he's the X factor for this Dodgers offense, especially if they're going to continue to put him in that 4-hole. But LA 7, Atlanta May from Rick. We got Charlie C. 10-3. They will score big in the first over on Periscope. We have Dodgers come back from behind and finish this in 7. We got Brian Alex Magic Johnson about to go off on Roberts if we lose this series. Tomorrow, Muncy and Barnes. With Smith, they get the offense going. Must win Game 3 from Nick over on Periscope. Muncy, really? Wow. I mean, let me ask you a question. Who's your X factor? I mean, to me, the definition of X factor is if this guy produces, I think the Dodgers will win, and I have full faith that Corey Seager and Mookie Betts are going to find a way to reach base. So I think that if you're going to continue to put him in that 4-hole, he has to produce. And I think tomorrow is a big-time gut check game for Max Muncy. So, yeah, so definitely a big night for Max Muncy there. They need him to come out big. And when he starts hitting with confidence, you see, this guy pimps a home run better than anyone. And I think that getting him going is just key right there. But yeah, let's look at that 9th inning here. Let's look at that 9th inning before we wrap this up. Let's see where we're at here, time-wise. 57 minutes, man. These fly by on the postseason here. Roberts, if they don't advance from Jose, big ifs, going to be Taylor. Yeah, Chris Taylor is another guy that he hit the ball very hard tonight. And if you can turn that lineup around and get Mookie Betts, give Mookie Betts opportunities to hit with runners in scoring position. Mookie Betts has been phenomenal all year, not just with runners in scoring position, but runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So I could definitely see you making a case for Chris Taylor as the X factor there. That's actually a great point. But yeah, let's look at this 9th inning, man. The 9th inning that really just broke our hearts. So Chris Taylor starts things off with a strikeout. Mookie Betts singles on a line drive to left field. And then Corey Seager doubles to left. Corey Seager doubles to right. And then Justin Turner strikes out, swings. That was a real key at bat there. It was Justin Turner with 2. He strikes out, swing there, puts the Dodgers behind the 8 ball there with 2 outs there. And then on a fielding error, Will Smith. So Ozzie Albies, he has the error there, and then Will Smith, he's able to reach. It almost reminded me of when Puig was able to reach there on that error there in 2018 in that Game 3. But he reaches there, and so Cody Bellinger, he triples to right, and that made it 8-7. That made it 8-7 Braves, and then unfortunately A.J. Pollock with Cody Bellinger on third base. The other reason why I didn't love that at-bat from A.J. Pollock, it was just really a bad at-bat. Let's just be honest. We got to call a spade here, is one, I just think that, look, it's like a quarterback. When a quarterback, before you even say hike, you know you're going to pass it to this receiver without reading the defense. That's how it felt like to me there on that first pitch by A.J. Pollock. He was going there hacking. He doesn't have the same green light that Mr. Hacktastic has, Corey Seager, in my opinion. And then he just doesn't take a couple pitches because, look, if you take some pitches, you never know. One can get behind the catcher, one can hit the backstop, and just like that, Cody Bellinger is sliding into home, and the game is tied. So I just think you want a much more competitive at bat in that situation. And fortunately, the Dodgers, they came up so close. They were so close, but they came up short today, and the Dodgers lose Game 2 of the NLCS by a score of 8-7. But yeah, thanks again, guys, as always, for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. We'll do a little rapid fire, squeeze in a couple more of your takes here. I got your predictions for tomorrow. We're going to be back rocking with you. Win, lose, or draw. We'll be here for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Here's a reminder. Make sure you check in with you watch the pregame show with Clint Pasillas and Brooks Smith, the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation. Watch the game and then join us for what's going to be the after party as the Dodgers look to get back in the series with Julio Urias on the mound. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. But here, let's do a couple more at the buzzer here. Andy Martinez, Bellinger and Betts, 2 for 16 in the NLCS. Great point. That's not going to get it done. If you look at the meat of this order, they have not performed well through 2 games. And we saw flashes there at the end, but it has to here we go. Wilfredo, thank you as always. Hey, thanks for rocking with us, Wilfredo. Brian, good show. That one had me rolling over on YouTube. Jose Avila, they better turn it around tomorrow. We got Tina G-Man. They need to get hot at the beginning of the game, not just at the end. Absolutely. Greg Pierce, good night, Doug. You rock as usual. Hey, thanks for rocking with us so you guys make the show what it is here. So be ready. Have those takes tomorrow. Kelly McCain, she was a legendary softball player at South Pasadena. Back in South Pasadena. She's here in the comments, a little celebrity sighting. But yeah, thanks guys for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Remember, nothing brings us together like Dodgers baseball. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time.